Hello students, this is Kanupriya, PGT Geography, and here I am once again with my next video, that is part 2 on chapter 4, which is chapter 4 Human Settlements. In my last and previous video, we had studied what are human settlements, in which I have explained you that human settlements are the cluster of dwellings of any size or type in which human beings live. For the living purpose, they erect their houses and they occupy a certain area for performing their economic activity. After that, I had explained and I had told you that human settlements have been classified into two types. First one is rural settlement and second one is urban settlement. Then we had discussed the differences between rural settlements and urban settlements. After that, we had studied the types of rural settlements, in which we had discussed the various factors which affect any type of settlement, which includes physical factors, we have security factors, and we have cultural or ethnic factors. After that, we had started with the various types of rural settlements. We had discussed the two types of rural settlement, which is clustered rural settlement and semi-clustered rural settlement. And today, we'll discuss the other types of rural settlement and the other topics of this chapter. So let's start with it. The third type of rural settlement is hamleted rural settlements. Sometimes settlement is fragmented into several units physically separated from each other bearing a common name. These units are locally called Pana, Para, Pali, Nagla, Dhani, etc. in various parts of the country. This segmentation of large village is often motivated by social and ethnic factors. Such villages are more frequently found in the middle and lower Ganga plain, Chhattisgarh region and lower valleys of the Himalayas. So now what is a hamlet? Hamlet consists of 5 to 10 houses. It's a small village which is separated from the other hamlet because of the physical feature. These are locally called as Pana, Para, Pali, Nagla, Dhani in various parts of the country. This type of settlement is also motivated by social and ethnic factors. These are basically found in the middle and lower Ganga plains, in parts of Chhattisgarh and some valleys of Himalayas, that is lower valleys of Himalayas. So this type of settlement is called as hamleted settlements. The fourth type of rural settlement is dispersed settlements. Dispersed or isolated settlement pattern in India appears in the form of isolated huts or hamlets of few huts in remote jungles or on small hills with farms or pasture on the slopes. Extreme dispersion of settlement is often caused by extremely fragmented nature of the terrain and land resource base of habitable areas. Many areas of Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Kerala have this type of settlement. So what is dispersed settlement? In which houses are built up far away from each other. They can be found in remote jungles or on small hills, and this is because of the nature of the terrain. The landforms are like that only, where houses are not closely built up. So the houses can be found which are far away from each other, leading to this type of settlement. And there are certain areas in India which includes Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, which have this diverse type of settlement, which is dispersed settlements. So in rural settlement, in types of rural settlements, we have covered 4 types of rural settlements, which includes clustered or nucleated, or agglomerated settlements. Second one, semi-clustered rural settlement. Third one, hamleted rural settlement. And fourth one is dispersed settlement. So these are the various types of rural settlements. Now comes the second type of settlement, which is urban settlements. Urban settlements are those settlements which are larger in size as well as which are compact. That is, the arrangement of houses are compact. The houses that are built up are very close to each other in urban areas. In urban areas, people are mostly engaged in non-agricultural activities, economic functions and administrative functions. As we all know, cities are well connected with rural areas. There is a functional relationship between cities and rural areas because rural areas provide the raw materials to the cities, and because of which the finished products are produced. And these finished products are made available to the villages only because of the cities. So there is a functional relationship which is active between cities, that is urban areas, and rural areas, directly or indirectly. The cities are connected directly as well as indirectly with the villages and also with each other. So cities are connected to each other also and to the villages also. So there is a functional relationship between urban settlements and rural settlements. Now the evolution of towns in India. How towns have evolved over the years in India. Towns flourished since prehistoric times in India. Even at the time of Indus Valley civilization, we have towns like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. These two towns were in existence during the time of Indus Valley civilization. The following period has witnessed evolution of towns. It continued with periodic ups and downs until the arrival of Europeans in India in the 18th century. On the basis of their evolution in different periods, Indian towns may be classified as ancient towns, medieval towns, and modern towns. So towns have been evolved over the years. And once the European came to India, after that, number of towns have been developed in the British style. So there are different periods in which different towns have evolved. So these towns includes ancient towns, medieval towns, and modern towns. First one is ancient towns. There are number of towns in India which have historical background spanning over 2000 years. Most of them developed as religious and cultural centers. Varanasi is one of the most important towns among these. We have Prayag, Allahabad, Patliputra, Patna, Madurai, which are some of the examples of ancient towns in the country. So mostly ancient towns have developed about 2000 years ago, and these towns were mostly developed because of its religious and cultural importance. One of the most important town which is related to religious and cultural centers, that is Varanasi. We have some other towns which have religious and cultural importance, which includes Prayag, Patliputra, Madurai, which are the ancient towns in our country India. So these are ancient towns which have been developed in the ancient period. Second one is medieval towns. About 100 of the existing towns have their roots in the medieval period. Most of them developed as headquarters of principalities and kingdoms. These are 4 towns which came up on the ruins of ancient towns. Important among them are Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Agra, and Nagpur. So basically, the medieval towns have been developed as the princely states. And these were mostly developed when the ancient towns were ruined. It includes Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Agra, Nagpur, which are mostly dominated by the princes at that time. So these are medieval towns. Third one is modern towns. When Britishers and Europeans came to India, they have developed number of towns in India. Firstly, they have developed the port areas. They have developed the trading ports such as Surat, Goa, Pondicherry, Daman, etc. After that, they took over the control of three principal nodes which included Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. And the Britishers have styled all these cities, all these towns in their British style. After that, they have extended their domination either directly or through control over the princely states. They established their administrative centers, hill towns as summer resorts, and added new civil, administrative, and military areas to them. So, mostly modern towns were developed by Britishers and Europeans when they had come to India. And they have styled most of the towns in their British style. There are towns which are based on modern industries which had been evolved after 1850. Jamshedpur is one of the example which has been developed because of the industrial development. After independence, a large number of towns have been developed as administrative headquarters, which included Chandigarh, Bhubaneswar, Gandhinagar, Dispur, and we had industrial centers also which were developed such as Durgapur, Bhilai, Sindri, Baruni, etc. Some old towns were also developed as satellite towns around metropolitan cities such as Ghaziabad, Rohtak, Gurugram, which is known as Gurgaon now, around Delhi. With increasing investment in rural areas, a large number of medium and small towns have developed all over the country. So after Britishers have styled some of the towns in their British style, then number of towns have been developed because of the development of industries. Like Jamshedpur is one of the example. Then we have Durgapur, Bhilai, Sindri, Baruni, etc. And these towns are included in industrial towns. Later on, number of administrative headquarters have been developed which included Gandhinagar, Dispur, Chandigarh, etc. Some of the towns have also been developed as satellite towns and which were mostly developed around metropolitan cities. That is, around Delhi, we have Ghaziabad, Rohtak, Gurgaon, etc. With increasing investment in rural areas, a number of medium as well as small towns had been developed all over the country. So these are basically the modern towns which have been developed over the years. So this is all about the evolution of towns in India. This is all for today. If you have any doubt, please come up with your doubts. Thank you so much.